Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Dead for a Dollar, and this is a new Western thriller from director Walter Hill, who has had quite the career, dating back to things like 48 Hours and films like that, directing Warriors, and now he's directing this Western, which follows a famed bounty hunter who runs into his sworn enemy, a professional gambler and outlaw, that he had sent to prison years before, and it's just like, that's not what this movie really is about. Like, reading the synopsis and then watching the film, what the film really is about is a woman who runs away from her husband. You have Rachel Brosnahan, who is this one, runs away from her husband, Hamish Linklater, and runs away with a black man in the Old West, which makes it 10 times worse. Because, you know, just having an affair isn't bad enough, and then you get mad because it's old times and everybody's racist. So, just remember that. And this film focuses on that, and the husband sends Christoph Waltz's character Max Borland, who is a bounty hunter, after his wife, and then Willem Dafoe, who's this gambler outlaw described in the synopsis, is just kind of there. And then so's this Mexican outlaw gang led by Benjamin Bratt, who just happens to be there as well. And this whole entire film's like an hour and 45 minutes and could have easily been an hour 30, an hour 25, if they just cut out all the BS that felt like it shouldn't have been there in the first place. I don't even know why Willem Dafoe's in this movie. It's probably because it's Willem Dafoe. And like, he does wind up at some point connecting back to the main story, but you have him introduced in the first scene, and then he has absolutely no consequence to the main story until like an hour plus into the hour 15 minutes into the movie, and you're just like, but why? And then Benjamin Bratt's character and his whole gang feels like they're like awkwardly threaded into this narrative as well. This film had enough drama to it. It's a woman on the run with a black man at a time where that wasn't a good idea, and running away from her husband and having an affair, and him sending a bounty hunter after him, and, you know, there's enough there to work with. Why'd you have to throw in all this extra stuff? So this script feels excessive and weighted down by subplots that don't feel like they need to be there. And then the production design of this looks like everybody just cosplaying at one of those places where you could like take a photo with your family, all dressed up in old-timey ways. And so like the budget for this must have been like nothing, and they must have spent it all on the actors, because it looks shabby and doesn't look like I'm in this time era. It just feels like everybody's like, well, we're making a Western. Quick, everybody get the quickest, like, stuff you could get from a thrift shop that looks like from Old West. And the direction is very drab and unpleasant to look at. The cinematography is not great. And then you have these actors, right? Rachel Brosnahan, I think, is doing an alright job here with her role. Christoph Waltz feels like he's sleepwalking through this movie. Willem Dafoe throws on an accent, and, you know, it's Willem Dafoe, but, like, he doesn't really need to be there. Benjamin Bratt's doing his thing that he's been doing for years now. I feel like ever since he was in Despicable Me 2 as El Macho, and it's just being that, and, like, he was a drug lord and infiltrator. He just kind of feels like he's doing that bit. And, yeah, like, not even the cast is great to elevate this film. I just feel like this Western is just, it has an interesting central story, but the directing, the script, and the acting doesn't no favors. And then just muddies the waters, throwing in a whole bunch of other subplots that don't feel like they're necessary. And by the end, you just feel like, do I really need to be here watching this right now? Is this even worth it? I don't think it's worth it, and I'm a big Western fan. I don't think I would recommend this film. This feels like a pretty big miss for me. But those are my thoughts on Dead for a Dollar. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.